Mining activity began in the town of DeKalb in 1803 with the beginning of non-indigenous settlement. Pyrite is a stone that contains iron and sulfur. It is the sulfur content of the rock that was valuable because manufacturers could extract sulfuric acid from the stone and use this acid in the production of fertilizers, chemicals, detergents, explosives, and drugs. The first mining of pyrite for sulfur production on the site of the Stella Mines was begun in 1884 by DeKalb Mills. The DeKalb Mills operation opened Shaft 1 for production, but was short-lived. More than 10 years later, Gus McCrae, governor-entrepreneur, began developing the Stellaville mine. He built a brand new dry process mill to extract the sulfur from the ore. They were processing 145 tons of ore per day in the new mill by late 1898. In 1899, McCrae started to build a railroad from DeKalb Junction to the new mill. This image shows the railroad bridge over Tanner Creek under construction. McCrae sold the operation that year to Mayer and Company of New York City, making over $1 million in profit. Mayer and Company finished the railroad line as far as the mill, constructing this engine house, but the business wasn't profitable, and in 1900 they went bankrupt. The vacant mill burnt to the ground in September 1904. In 1905, the St. Lawrence Pyrite Corporation purchased the mines and built a new mill building shown here. They opened several additional shafts and extended the railroad to Herman. The last tie in the railroad was laid at Herman on December 24, 1906. The Adirondack and St. Lawrence Railroad was a wholly owned subsidiary of the St. Lawrence Pyrite Company, which began passenger service between Herman and DeKalb Junction January 1, 1907. This token from a Herman merchant was good for a one-way fare in 1907 on the railroad. Some of the miners employed by the St. Lawrence Pyrite Company pose in this undated photograph. Ore was hauled from the mine shafts to the mill by train, where it was offloaded down into the mill. The finished product was loaded into boxcars at the lower level in this image. In 1907, the operations engineer made this sketch of the interior of the mill. Working in the mill was very dangerous work as the extraction process released sulfur dioxide gas. This map of Stellaville by Stu Casanova shows the elaborate extent of the operation. The mining company remained in business until February 12, 1921. The passenger railroad closed as soon after as they could get permission from the New York State Public Service Commission to cease operations. When County Route 17 was rebuilt, it passed right over the site of the hamlet of Stellaville. All that remains today of the hamlet and mines are large sulfur tailings piles.